Hello everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome back to Joe Blow Originals. This is Friday Night Flicks, and tonight we've got kind of a bittersweet show for everybody. As you could tell from the pre-show, for those of you that were here, we're dealing with a huge loss in Hollywood, and frankly, among movie lovers everywhere. So tonight's show is dedicated, of course, to Val Kilmer. Rest in peace. We're gonna kind of just talk about some of my experience with Val Kilmer growing up as a movie fan. Some of my favorite roles from him. We'll take a look at some clips from some of my favorite Val Kilmer scenes from movies, and kind of just hold on to his legacy a little bit longer over here at Joe Blow. I'm gonna try not to be too somber. I am genuinely sad about this one, so I'm gonna try to still put on an entertaining show for everybody. It looks like you guys have been very active in the comments already, so thank you for that. A lot of love for Val Kilmer. We love to see that around here. Even a few recognizable faces. So hello to everybody returning. Hip-hop legend, Be Positive, Brad Perkins, Kiki. Who else is here? Cartoon Man. Wow, thank you guys all so much for being here. And we even have Tyler Nichols, a fellow Joe Blower. Val Kilmer is an absolute legend. So many wonderful roles. Yeah, and you did a great job on that video, man. I agreed with your list, and it hit home deeply. It did hit home. I could even tell, Tyler, in your voice when the video started, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a sad video, you know? All right, guys. Yeah, thank you all so much for being back. Thank you all. And if this is your first stream with us, hello and welcome. And you get one of these for my first timers.
Hello there.
Hello there. All right, guys. Yeah, so look, we are going to get into the show. I want to do a proper segment for Val Kilmer. Just if this is the only time I get to talk about him, I want to make it count. Just, really get everything that I would say about him out there. And then with whatever time that we do have left, you guys, we'll talk about some of the big stuff that came out of Cinemacon. So if you have been living under a rock this week and you haven't heard any of these updates, don't worry, because we're going to talk about some of that tonight. And Cartoon Man kind of called it already. We are doing a giveaway this evening, and it is Val Kilmer related. So if you're interested in winning some free stuff, stick around to the end of the show. Let's jump right into it, you guys. So for those of you that haven't heard, I'm assuming, most of you have, or, the title of this video, thumbnail, gave it away, or if you saw today's video. But we did lose a real good one today, or yesterday, with Val Kilmer. Maybe 2 days ago, I guess. But it's sad. This is one that, not necessarily surprising. If you guys haven't seen the documentary Val, which I highly recommend, it's on Amazon Prime. You can go watch it. This is the poster for it. This is an incredible documentary, and I think it made this loss, while not surprising, it made his passing sting a little bit different, because if you watch the documentary, you can see he went through a lot in his final years for a long time, and it's a really beautiful told story. It's kind of told as his memoirs from his perspective and his account of things. And it'll serve as probably the greatest piece of greatest single piece of media that exists about Val Kilmer. So definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, this is a huge one, you guys. It's a huge loss. I appreciate all of you guys so much for the variety in Val Kilmer roles that you all remember him for. That's so incredible. Yeah, Doc Holliday. That's one of probably the most iconic role. According to Tyler, it is the most iconic. It's probably my favorite as well. Maybe my second favorite Val Kilmer performance. And it just sucks, man. Not to keep repeating how much it sucks. It's just, it feels weird. It's kind of like, I think for like anybody, especially growing up in the 90s, Val Kilmer was kind of like, he was a stud in those times. And late 80s, same thing, but the 90s was really like, that was like the era of Val Kilmer. And growing up in that time, I kind of saw him everywhere. Everyone looked up to him. This was kind of like one of the hot pieces of ass in Hollywood around that time. My mom had a crush on Val Kilmer. This all feels very sad to me. So let's talk about some of my favorite Val Kilmer performances. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do these in order. I might just kind of like word vomit how I'm feeling, and hopefully you guys will follow along. But I did do my best to kind of pick 5 Val Kilmer performances that I really feel enhanced the movie that they were in, or are things that he absolutely should be known for, or things that you should check out if you haven't seen his performance in any of these movies. So let's get on to the first one. I'm going to shake off the sadness. Now this is an obvious one. If Doc Holliday is my second favorite Jim Morrison is my second favorite Val Kilmer performance, Jim Morrison has to be probably my favorite. I saw the Doors movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a biopic essentially on the Doors, directed by Oliver Stone, and it's very good. It's also one that maybe isn't for everybody. If you don't like the Doors, you might not like this movie, and if you don't like their music, you certainly won't like the style of this movie, because I think this is one of those biopics that exists kind of in the tradition and in the style of the music that inspired it. So if you're not a fan of the Doors, it might not be the movie for you. But I love the Doors, and I love this movie. And specifically, I love Val Kilmer in this movie. Val Kilmer playing Jim Morrison is interesting to me because they don't necessarily look alike. Like, you wouldn't look at Val Kilmer and go, well, that guy should play Jim Morrison. But then when you watch the movie, it's like now my memories of Jim Morrison, I kind of picture his likeness and his voice looking more like Val Kilmer. And I think that's how transformative the role is. This is one of those movies, I probably saw this, I'm going to say, probably too young. I probably saw this movie when I was about 10 years old. And kind of got obsessed with it. This was a very rebellious era of Jim Morrison that they captured. I mean, they kind of capture his whole shtick from like college until death. But truthfully, like the bulk of the movie, which takes place in his early 20s, was very, very rebellious, very like attractive to 10-year-old me, who kind of wanted to hate authority and do things my way and be an artist, you know? And this is a movie for my artists out there. This is a movie that will absolutely light that fire in your belly and get you motivated to do things. Because Jim Morrison and Val Kilmer playing him, they really stand out in biopic fashion, but just in cinema. Val Kilmer made Jim Morrison a great character in a movie, not just a great subject for a biopic. Clip that. That was awesome. Oh, True Romance. Yes. Val Kilmer played Elvis Presley in True Romance. True Romance is one of my favorite movies, and Val Kilmer's barely in it, but gotta admit, it enhances the movie. Samuel Parker says it takes a brave man to work with old Marlon Brando and introduce Batnips to the world. I agree, and whether or not it paid off is subjective, so, you know, that's up to you guys. But in my opinion, if anybody can pull off a pair of bat nipples, it is Val Kilmer. Absolutely. Better than George Clooney ever could. Yash. Hey, welcome back, Yash. Thank you for being here. I started watching Val Kilmer movies I've never seen starting last night. That's pretty cool. I might do that too. There's a few... I think I've seen most of his movies, honestly, but I think there's a few that I would like to revisit. One of them being The Saint, which I saw somebody mention here was underrated. I've seen that movie a couple times, and I remember when I was like 13 or 14, one of my friends was like, this is my favorite movie. and we watched it, and I was like, I don't know how this is your favorite movie. But I think, you know, maybe the couple times I've seen it since, I've maybe softened up on it. Yash, yeah, well, stick around. I'll give you some recommendations here soon, but I would start with The Doors if you haven't seen it. The thing I really love about Jim Morrison, or Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison in the Doors movie, is the way that he kind of took on the sense of zen that you can imagine Jim Morrison had at all times, being, you know, either fried on acid or sedated entirely. But there was just this sense of like confidence that came with him always being chill, always being relaxed, and still kind of having that unpredictable edge about him. And I think nothing captures that better than this clip from The Doors. Let's take a look at it. Actually, before I hit play on this, I'm going to give you guys some context. If you haven't seen the Doors movie, this is probably my favorite scene in the movie. They're about to go on TV and play, and the network producer comes in and says, hey, the only thing, we have a small change. They're going to perform Light My Fire. And the producer comes in and he says, we don't want you to say we couldn't get much higher on the air for the sake of, you know, censoring the implication of that. So he says, we were wondering if you could say, girl, we couldn't get much happier, or something like that. And Jim says no, but after being bullied into doing it, he goes on stage and does his performance. And I just love this scene so much. I love the delivery of this line. Check it out.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be alive if I was to say to you.
Listen to that voice, man. Wow.
Girl, we couldn't get much higher.
Yes, dude. I love it. I love it. So the the idea being, you can't say that on the air. Say something else. Him saying, I don't really want to do that. They go, you don't have a choice. Just do it. And even the band, he tells the band, okay, fine, I'll do it. They go out on stage, and he looks dead into the camera as if to say to the producers, you don't fucking own me. And that, man, and, you know, maybe it's unfair for me to attribute that to Val Kilmer as opposed to attributing it to Jim Morrison, but I got it from Val Kilmer, and it changed my life. It kind of awakened the, you know, the entitled artist in me that wants to do things my way, and it inspired me to try to always find a way to do things my way. And I really can't say enough about how incredible that movie is. So if you haven't seen it, Yash or anybody else who's looking for your recommendations tonight, for the love of God, for the love of Morrison, for the love of Val Kilmer, go watch Oliver Stone's The Doors. Also, that's one, I saw Wayne's World 2 before I saw the Doors movie, and there's a bit in Wayne's World 2 with like a naked Indian that comes to them in a vision to tell them to put on a concert. I never thought that bit was very funny. I still don't think it's very funny, but I did, when I saw the Doors movie, I realized that Wayne's World 2 was referencing the scene or series of scenes from the Doors movie, which kind of was cool. So it made me appreciate it a little bit more, or a little bit differently, at least. So Jim Morrison, that's probably got to be, I got to say, probably my favorite Val Kilmer performance. I just think like how difficult it is to play somebody so iconic. Like Jim Morrison, maybe not now to kids now, and maybe, but Jim Morrison, you know, he was almost a myth. You know, there was something like mythological about the legend of Jim Morrison and how crazy he was. You know, the Lizard King. You know, and I love it. I love it. Yeah, Yash says The Saint was kind of dry. You know, it's one that I'm going to have to go back and revisit because, like I said, I think I've gotten softer on it, but I definitely remember the first time I saw it and thinking, this ain't that great. Mark G says, where is everybody from? Milwaukee here. Hey, well, greetings. I don't think I've ever made a friend from Milwaukee. So Mark G, you're my first. You're my first Milwaukee homie, and I appreciate you, man. Why don't you guys put where you're from in the chat? Let's make some homies. Do you guys know where I'm from? Do you guys know where I'm at right now? We'll see. Be Positive says, is Gal Gadot still making Cleopatra? I don't know. I want to get a soundbite on the stream deck of Gal Gadot going, enough champagne to fill the Nile. Because I've been seeing that all over TikTok. I can't stop seeing people making fun of Gal Gadot, and specifically her performances in Death on the Nile, Snow White, and Justice League. The Doors. All right, Untrackable, thank you for being here. Avery Bryant, thank you for being here. Avery Bryant, that's a great picture. Says, currently in my movie collection from Val Kilmer are Tombstone, Batman Forever, and I did have The Saint. I'll have to work on finding some others. Oh yeah, Top Gun. I have that one too. Well, those are essential. You gotta have Top Gun. You definitely gotta have Tombstone. And if you love Batman, you gotta have Batman Forever. Personally, you gotta add The Doors. You gotta add Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Those are two movies that definitely need to be added. Okay. All right, so coming off of Jim Morrison, I would say my next favorite performance from Val Kilmer, obviously, Doc Holliday. What can I say about Tombstone that you guys haven't heard over the years over a million times, right? This is one of them movies. It's one of them movies that if you love movies, you love this one. It's iconic, it's classic, yada, yada, yada. Everything about this movie's good. Val Kilmer is the standout of Tombstone. When I think of Tombstone, I think of Doc Holliday. He's my Huckleberry. That's another... Here's the thing. This movie is so iconic. Hold on. I needed a sound for that. Do I have one? Maybe I have one. Yeah, here we go. Oh, nope. Okay, you guys can't hear it. How about this one? That thought woke me up. Val Kilmer did such an iconic job in this movie and in this role of Doc Holliday that even if you've never seen Tombstone, even if you've never heard the name Doc Holliday, which is probably unlikely, but even if you haven't, you recognize the quote, "I'll be your Huckleberry." He's always going to be, he's someone's Huckleberry. He'll be someone's wingman. That's why we love Val Kilmer. Real team player, Darnell Leak is back. What up, dude? I was thanking all the regulars at the beginning of the show, and I didn't see you here, but thank you for being here. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Oh, see, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree here. The general is, in my opinion. The general is Simo. I don't know. I hope I'm saying your name correct. Val played Jim well. I do agree with that. But Oliver Stone completely portrayed Jim as a nihilist douchebag. Nihilistic douchebag, yes, but it wasn't completely that. There was compassion, there was art, there was creativity in there. He wasn't just like a nothing matters nihilist, Like he wasn't like the nihilist from The Big Lebowski, right? John Fallon is here. Let's give it up for John Fallon, the Arrow. John, I know you're a big fan of Val, and Thunderheart is solid. Very cool. I love you guys getting in the comments with your takes on these movies, and I especially love when you start responding to each other and making conversation. We're building a community, and as you guys know, I say it every show. That's all I'm trying to do. Kilmer killed it as Morrison. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Bend over. Let's take a look though at one of my favorite. I have a clip from Tombstone. I would say it's one of my. It is one of my favorites. I would say it's my favorite. It's just kind of too hard to do. So I'm gonna play this one. Hopefully we're able to skirt the copyright on it, but if not, we'll see. If you guys haven't seen Tombstone, man, wake up, go see it.
Without them guns, you ain't nothing but a skinny lunger.
Dad, what an ugly thing to say.
Listen to that voice.
Our poor ugliness. Does this mean we're not friends anymore?
Friends anymore?
You know, Ed, if I thought you weren't my friend, I just don't think I could bear it.
Oh, if you guys know how that scene shakes out, man, it's intense. If you've seen it before, you know. Alex Lestat. Hello, Alex Lestat. Thank you for commenting. My dad is a huge Doors fan and got me into them with the movie. His voice and performance just left me in awe. It wasn't until we finished where my dad said, "That's Iceman from Top Gun and Batman." Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. If your earliest exposure to Val Kilmer was something like Batman especially, and then you see him as Jim Morrison, that would be a little bit jarring. You might be like, whoa, say that's the same guy? Let that be a testament to how fucking talented Val Kilmer is, man. Hey, Mike Conway is here too. Let's give it up for Conway. Give it up for Tyler. Give it up for John. All the Joe Blow fam. Boys, I'm so grateful that you guys are here, but I will be seeing you soon. So if you're here just to see me, don't worry. We're going to get to hang out next week. Conway says, a great Kilmer movie that gets slept on is The Salton Sea. Of course, yes, The Salton Sea is great. I saw a lot of people shouting out The Salton Sea today in the comments on our latest video. We did a top 10 for Val Kilmer today. And a lot of people in the comments were putting Salton Sea. And I think that's awesome. Okay, so we've seen him as Jim Morrison. We've seen him as Doc Holliday. Now we're seeing him as Batman. Listen, stop it. Before you say anything, hang on. I'm actually not a huge fan of the Joel Schumacher era of Batman, okay? That said, I have always said one thing. I have always said the problem with Batman Forever was not Val Kilmer. So I'm allowed to say it's one of his best performances. Because listen, there's a lot of scenes in the movie where he's doing his thing as Bruce Wayne, and it's incredible stuff. I might not love the movie overall. I think Joel Schumacher, I love The Lost Boys. you know. Didn't he make Payphone with Colin Farrell? I like that movie a lot. But I'm not like I mean, he's made so many movies. And I don't think they're all good. And I think sometimes the movies lack in, they have a lot of style and not a lot of substance. I think the number 23 is one of the most guilty movies of that, where the movie itself is garbage, but there's like style and an attempt at flair to it. Batman Forever, kind of the same deal, where to me, even though not everything works, Val Kilmer does. And even if he doesn't work for you as Batman, which personally I think is great, as Bruce Wayne, he might be my favorite. I think Michael Keaton in the first one does a good job of being Bruce Wayne. A little less in Batman Returns. But there's a scene with Michael Keaton, and I'll play another clip so that you guys don't get too bored hearing me ramble. But the scene in question is just a perfect encapsulation of Bruce Wayne, physically, the voice, the words he uses, but then also it's a perfect embodiment of why the fuck Robin is so important to Batman and why we need more Robin in movies. Okay, so if anything else, this is just my plea for Hollywood to take, some lessons here and go, you know what? We can do Robin. We just have to make it not fucking weird, and not act like we think it's weird, which makes people question it, right? This is what we need to do. But this is a classic Val Kilmer moment here. And listen to the voice. Even if you must close your eyes, but listen to the voice and tell me you don't get at least a little bit of like Batman. Maybe even, dare I say, maybe even some Batman the Animated Series, some Kevin Conroy. Maybe. Let's see.
But your pain doesn't die with Harvey, it grows.
I wish I could just watch a whole
So
movie.
you run
with
out
you
into
guys.
the night to find another face, and another, and another. Until one terrible morning you wake up and realize that revenge has become your whole life. And you won't know why.
God,
You
he's
can't
so
understand. Your family wasn't killed by a maniac.
good. The look on his face.
Yes, they were.
Oh, it's like you could almost feel like the family wasn't killed. Yes, they were. That's what I get. Dude, I mean, come on. If I were to isolate that clip, regardless of how we feel about Batman Forever, some of you really like that movie, some of you don't. I'm not extreme either way. I acknowledge that there's good stuff about it and there's shit stuff about it, But if you watch just the context, or without context, I mean, if you just watch the clip, it kind of, and I wish I could show you guys like a longer extended version of it. But I think just that little bit, that little like 15 seconds, it captures everything that Batman and Robin are, right? They're both orphans. They're both people that have been cheated out of happy families and good childhoods and youth that had to grow up too fast and, and all this. And that was the moment where Val Kilmer, Val Kilmer, that was the moment where it solidifies the bond. And it says, look, man, we're not different. I've been through it. And trust me, because I know killing Two-Face ain't going to make you feel better. And as silly as it is for a man in his 30s to get teared up over a scene from Batman Forever, I would say with the way things have been going with the Kilmer news and his passing, I would say if I watch that clip again, I could probably cry. Brad Perkins from Rochester, New York. What's up? Oh, cool. Thank you guys for putting where you're from. Oh, we got some Londoners in here. The Generalissimo. South Carolina. Scotland. Alistair Campbell, you're from Scotland. I would try to do your accent, but I don't want to insult you, dude. Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, and I think I know that, Darnell, because we have sent you stuff. Cowboy, yeah, Death on the Nile probably ruined some careers. Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. You know what's weird? I actually like the Pierrot, the Hercule. How do you say it? Hercule? I like the Pierrot movies. I liked Murder on the Orient Express probably the most. I did not like Death on the Nile at all. But then I really liked and was surprised by Haunting in Venice, which, you know, I'm not a fan of Kenneth Branagh in terms of like his directing style, a lot of Dutch angles and a lot, you know, that kind of thing. If you guys didn't know, the trilogy is directed by Kenneth Branagh. But I do like his movies. His style isn't really my vibe, but like I like, you know, the first Thor movie, and I kind of like the Hercule Poirot trilogy. All right, I've seen a bunch of mentions for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Wow. Oh, cool. This is sick. Dan in the Foot. That's an amazing name. Dan in the Foot. Val is my second favorite Batman. Dan, who is your first favorite Batman? Please let us know. I'll tell you guys mine, but then it'll just unlock the controversy meter and everybody will get fucking mad at me. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of mentions, tons of comments. You guys are the best for this. Thank you so much. Mad Mardigan, I know. Mad Mardigan is an honorable mention on my list. But I'm seeing a lot of mentions for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So if you guys didn't know that, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang happens to be one of my favorite unappreciated gems, one of my favorite underrated movies. I love this movie, and I'm going to tell you guys something. I saw this movie. I rented this on a whim, had no idea what it was about. I just saw that Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. were in it. I was probably 13 or 14, I would say. And man, was I not disappointed. But dude, this movie was kind of not what I expected in the most bonkers and glorious way. I fucking love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you guys haven't seen the video, we have done a whole video talking about this movie and the greatness of it. But if you haven't seen this movie, do that. Definitely watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and then watch all of our coverage about it. I love seeing the Iceman Forever in the chat too. Yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Tyler mentioned it in the pre-show video. Darnell's mentioning it now. This is the movie that put Robert Downey Jr. back on the map, so to speak, right? He kind of, you know, drug charges, issue after issue after issue in the early 90s. And this was the movie that brought him back. But it also, like Tyler said, it also gave a little fresh resurgence to Val Kilmer's career as well. So I have clips from this movie, of course, that I have to share. This is the thing about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This is one that, like, it's best if you go into it almost like, it's not like it's extra surprising. So it's not like if you go into it cold, it's like the best way. But I think it is better to go into it not knowing anything so that you don't know what to expect from this movie. Because it is a bit wild. This one, it is a bit wild. Let's watch a clip. I have a few clips from the same scene. This is my favorite scene in the movie. Again, if you guys haven't seen it, please watch it. This is probably, to me, the funniest scene in the movie. But here we go.
Hi, we are so incredibly lost.
Mr. Van Shrike. Hello. You look chilly. Come back inside.
Actually, I'm from back east. I'm kind of digging the cold.
Okay, so that's how the scene starts, and I love the two. Here's the two kind of sets of dialogue that Val Kilmer gets. Is the hi, we are incredibly lost. Very funny in the context of the scene as well. It's funny because they're definitely not lost, and he knows he's not fooling anybody by saying that, and it's just cute. And then the little sarcastic kind of Deadpool-esque quip that he offers after, it's cold, come back inside, and he goes, actually, I'm from back east. I'm kind of digging the cold. I can handle it. I love it. I also love that the orderly pistol whips Robert Downey Jr. who said nothing for no reason. Devanish Raita. Devyansh Rat. I'm doing my best. Love from India. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. What time is it for you? I hope it's not too late. But if it is, then thank you for staying awake with us. Hopefully it's not too early, you know, unless like maybe you're eating your breakfast right now and you need something to do. Here I am. Let's take a look at another clip from this same scene. This is just a little bit later in the scene, but this is just good shit here.
Yeah, like in the movies when a guy comes up and sticks a gun at some schmuck's back and says, let's take a walk. All of a sudden he's got a hostage.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Well, in reality, the pros like about 5 feet of separation.
5 feet, huh?
Yeah, that's so the schmuck doesn't take the gun back.
Make him eat it!
Doesn't that suck? I just hit you for no reason. I don't even know why. Watch it.
Oh my God, I love that. That is gold, right there. Man, Shane Black knows how to make a movie, does he not? He also made The Nice Guys. If you guys haven't seen it, he knows how to do buddy comedy grit that takes place during Christmas. That's like his very niche thing. And man, this movie is so good. This scene is the best. So essentially what's happening is they're getting taken hostage. Val Kilmer, calm as a cucumber. His character's name is Gay Perry because he's gay. I mean, I don't know if that's why. I mean, that's why they call him that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. His name's Gay Perry. And so Gay is, he's a badass, but he's also very, like, out there and flamboyant and very, like, breezy. And I love it. I love that he's not, I mean, he's a hard ass, but he's not, like, your stereotypical macho man hard ass, you know? And little things like this, the confidence in him stealing the gun back, or the way he says, so that the schmuck doesn't take the gun, and make him eat it. I love the way he says that. Make him eat it. Yash says the MCU wishes it could write natural conversational movie dialogue as well as Shane Black. Well, yeah, man, of course. That's something to aspire to, I think, for anybody. Even existing artists and filmmakers, you should definitely aspire to have dialogue like Shane Black. He knows how to write that shit. The Nice Guy is definitely one of my favorite movies. Shane Black's The Predator film was awful. I didn't see it. I wasn't really interested in it, so I didn't see it. But the dialogue's probably good, even if the movie wasn't good. You know, maybe not. All right, and then let's see, who did we talk about last? We talked about Gay Perry. So now we will talk about Iceman, my final for my favorite Val Kilmer performances. Obviously, not much to say about this that you haven't already heard. He's a small part of a great movie, and he makes the small parts that he's in really stand out. And he's just an asshole. He's kind of like, you know, I said earlier my mom used to have a crush on Val Kilmer. He kind of seems like Iceman seems like the kind of guy my mom would have dated when I was a kid. You know? When my mom was just a single mom, she would have dated somebody like Iceman, and me and Jake would have been probably oddly inspired by him, to be honest. All right, guys. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer. One last plug, just in case you haven't seen it yet. Go watch the Val documentary. This one. Go watch Val on Amazon Prime. If you don't have it, if you don't have Amazon Prime, source the movie. Watch clips of it on YouTube. If you have even the slightest interest in Val Kilmer and his story and his career, and especially his soul as an artist, this is a documentary that will resonate with you. I promise it's worth watching. Even if you've only seen one of his movies, it's worth watching just to learn about this person. He truly was beautiful. Fuck, man. And it feels so weird to like transition out of this. It feels so weird to like transition into my other topics for the second half of the show, man. It feels weird. Let's watch a little brief reliable movie clip to lighten the mood, and then we'll dive into some other topics. Yeah, and shout out Real Genius, of course. Amazing movie. Let's see, what's a good one to mark this occasion? How about this one?
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
That's how I feel tackling the Val Kilmer topic without crying. I came, I saw, I kicked that segment's ass. I didn't cry. I kind of wanted to, so you know, don't clip just the scenes of me being emotional for memes, unless you want to. Honestly, that might be better. Whew. All right, guys. So transitioning out of Val Kilmer, which I know, like I said, it feels a little bit weird to me. It's a little bit awkward for me to go from, you know, like a truly sad topic to trying to be entertaining, but the show has to crack on, okay? And we got some stuff from Cinemacon that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because if you guys have been following the show, and I know that some of my regulars are here, which I appreciate. Yeah, so if you guys are coming back, you've been tracking maybe my personal struggles to get excited for the new Superman movie, which I can't believe I'm saying this is now just a few months away. Which I swear to God, it feels like to me like in March I was like, oh, the movie's not coming out till summer. It's not gonna be out for a while. Don't know why, because it comes out in June, and right, June or July, I think June, and now it's April, and I'm like, oh my God, the movie's coming out. Which kind of makes me wonder, where the fuck is all the promotional stuff? I feel like for a movie which, you know, is shaping up to be one of the biggest movies, if not the biggest movie of the year, I'm wondering, do they not feel that they need to market this movie? Because the marketing that they have done has divided people, and I think they need something to bring us together before the movie comes out so that everybody wants to see it. So Superman coming out, and at Cinemacon they leaked a little bit of footage, which later ended up online, of course. James Gunn gave it to us online. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I do have a little bit of the clip. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it could be the twinge blue hue that we're getting. I don't like the blue either. It's like watching like a CW melodrama or something. I don't like the blue tint, but I don't know if that's my beef. I don't know for sure if that's what it is. Something about the way all of this looks. I like Crypto. I like the look of Fortress of Solitude. I like the Superman suit. I like David Cornsweet. Like, I like everything individual, but the sum of all their parts somehow doesn't equal something I'm happy with. This clip did make me more excited. I will say, I feel a lot better going to see this movie opening day, having seen this. It did more for me than the trailer, but there is something there's like something in my brain that's kind of like waiting for the moment where I go, now I'm excited for Superman. You know? I hope that makes sense, man. Otherwise, I'm just another comic book dork in my office yapping into the void about things that don't concern me. And I hope that ain't it, okay? Yeah, so guys, so that came out of Cinemacon. I think for the most part that's all the Superman we got, which again is weird, because what I really wanted to talk about is, where is the marketing for this movie? Like, by now, a couple of months away, I'm thinking we should have 2 trailers, right? So there should be like a full... The first one we got was a teaser. This one was a movie clip that led into basically that same teaser. But with this time, Lex Luthor did give some dialogue. He served us up some dialogue in this one, which was cool. You just hear him go, he's back. But I personally was curious about how Nicholas Hoult was going to sound as Lex Luthor. Was I impressed? I don't know. Maybe. Got to hear him talk more. Don't know, man. All I know is when pre-sale goes up for the movie,
I'm getting that for show.
Yeah, Arrow, I think I agree with you, man. You said it looks like a TV show. Kinda. It kind of has like a daytime TV quality that I'm just not... I'm waiting. I'm reserving all of my, whatever. I'm not going to say that the movie's not going to be good. I'm not going to say it is going to be good. I'm waiting until I see it before I say shit. Because my opinions on the internet sometimes age badly, and I'll be like, that movie's going to suck. And then a movie, like, when I heard that they were doing the Dungeons and Dragons movie, I was like, it's going to suck. And then I saw it, and it was one of my favorite blockbuster films that year for sure. But, I mean, just truly a movie I loved. So I don't want to say that it's going to be good or bad in case I'm wrong. But I am willing to say I'm withholding my excitement until I get something worth getting excited over. And I'm just not there yet, I'm maybe a little bit harder of a bitch to please. Yeah, exactly, John, like CW. Yeah. Yep. However, if you guys want something good that came out this week, that came out of Cinemacon, we got a little teaser trailer for Liam Neeson's The Naked Gun, directed by Akiva Schaffer, so you know it's going to be funny as hell. Yeah. Kiki and Arrow, I get you. CW vibes. All right, if you guys haven't seen the Naked Gun trailer, you're in for a goddamn treat. Now, I did this one with no audio because I will definitely get a copyright claim for the music in this movie, or in this trailer, but god damn, did this get me excited. Let's take a look from Paramount. You know, I think what I'm going to like about this movie is because it's a parody, it's a remake of a parody movie, it can reference itself as much as it wants, and I like that. I love this. This to me, this is funny. It's a completely bonkers, absurd, you know, like, I mean, it's stupid, and I love it. This is something you would see in The Naked Gun. It's a cookbook. It's a cookbook. Yes, dude. It'll be nice to see Liam Neeson since he's retired from being an action hero. I think it'll be nice to just see him leaning on being kind of an older comedic actor. You know, I think that suits the trajectory for somebody who's been such a badass for all of our lives. You know, I think it's cool that he's kind of getting a little silly, not taking himself so serious. You know. The only funny part of the new Naked Gun trailer was the last 5 seconds. Yeah, the OJ joke was funny, but I disagree, Sam. I've heard a few people say this. I heard I think Chris Parker might have mentioned also that he wasn't sold on the first part. I actually think that gimmick is quite funny. It kind of like, you know, it feels a little bit, sure, it's immature and it's a little bit goofy. But honestly, I would rather it take that swing and not land 100% than for a movie that just plays it safe and only makes relevant jokes about canceled people that were in the original film, you know? And I'm not saying that that's what it would have been, but I like that they're taking some bold swings. Kind of reminded me of like that scene in Kick-Ass, you know, where Hit Girl pretends to be like an innocent schoolgirl and she's like, I can't find my parents. Pop, pop. It was kind of like that, only it's a full-grown man. Like, think of it this way. That would have been very funny to us if we saw that in Austin Powers. You know? It's kind of like that. Maybe Akiva Schaffer, Seth MacFarlane, maybe they're going to deliver something a little akin to the 90s, into this era of parody that was so special to people that are our age now. Which makes me feel fucking old, man. Jeez. I can only imagine how old people feel if I feel old. Yeah, so cool Naked Gun trailer. The Superman footage was okay. I'm going to talk about one, though, that I found completely surprising. I'm not going to play the full thing. I'm just going to play some of it. But there was also a trailer for Megan 2.0 that is surprisingly kind of up my alley. Maybe a little bit. Listen, I saw Megan when it came out, the first one, Megan. I saw that movie, and you know, it was a little bit Child's Play, a little bit Ron's Gone Wrong, you know, a little bit Johnny Number 5, Short Circuit. But the movie itself, to me, was like just okay. It was just this PG-13 thing. There was a joke about kombucha that I really enjoyed in the movie as an avid kombucha drinker. That sort of thing, you know, it felt okay. It was I enjoyed the movie. I really liked the performance of the doll, whoever that is. I thought it was okay. Now, I watched the movie the one time. Have I watched it since? No. So, did I think it was brilliant? I guess not. But I did enjoy it. However, when I saw the trailer for Megan 2.0, this got me hyped. I think I also probably can't play this one with sound because there's a Britney Spears song looping throughout the whole thing. But Megan has entered the building, and she has gone the opposite direction of horror. This is now an action comedy franchise. Or maybe just an action, I don't know. You guys tell me. This shit, though, this looks like fun to me. This looks like something a little bit different from what I was expecting. A way to take, you know, kind of an icon that like just kind of burst on the scene. Megan, the thing about the Megan doll became an icon. which all of a sudden meant that she had something to live up to. I think the design for Amelia looks so much like Elizabeth Olsen, don't you guys? But they went in a different direction. They were like, instead of trying to make it scary, instead of making it, comedy horror like Chucky, let's make it action. Let's make it fucking bonkers action. That Amelia doll looks like Elizabeth Olsen to me. Am I crazy? I don't think Elizabeth Olsen had anything to do with this movie. I wonder if she'll sue. Yeah, they put Megan in that little fucking, cookie thing, off of Black Mirror. I think this looks good. Basically, the way that it goes down, I guess since you don't have sound, that's not helping. But the way that this goes down is they discover it's the same family from the first movie. And they discover that somebody has used the Megan technology to build a super soldier called Amelia. And they need the main chick from the first movie. They need her as the creator of Megan to get involved and help shut it down and help overcome it. So they have to bring Megan back, give her a new body, which is why the actor obviously is a little taller now and stuff. So they give her a new body, a new upgraded, strength and whatever. And they basically send her up against this other evil Megan. And it's fun. Look at that. She's got a wingsuit. She's gliding through fucking mountains. She's like a spy. This is it's like a goddamn Mission Impossible movie. It's like Mission Impossible Toy Story. This bitch versus that bitch. I like that marketing a lot. That's the other thing. Megan has great marketing. The Megan people should get in touch with James Gunn and offer their services. Why am I more excited for Megan 2.0 than Super? What the fuck is that, man? Why am I... This is also, you guys got this on tape. This is the moment I'm realizing I might be more excited for a sequel to a PG-13 horror movie than for a reboot of a character that I've been reading and been obsessed with for 30 years. The fuck is going on in Hollywood, man? You see what happens, dude? Val Kilmer passes and now nothing makes fucking sense, dude. Oh yeah, Tron Ares 2 is coming out. I think they showed some footage for that at Cinemacon. Here's the thing about, I like Tron: A New Legacy. People throw shade at that movie. That's with Garrett Hedlund. And of course, the great Jeff Bridges. People knock Tron Legacy as if that movie's dog shit. That movie fucking rules, dude. That's like a good rainy day. You're kind of just you're a little tired. Maybe the lights are off and you want to vibe out to a killer soundtrack, some pretty cool looking lighting effects. And yeah, maybe the worst digital de-aging we've ever seen, unless you've seen X-Men The Last Stand. But Tron Legacy is good. So I believe that there is potential for Tron Ares to be good. The only thing holding Tron Ares back, in my opinion, is one Jared Leto, right? Which we're all thinking it, so don't come for me. Alistair from Scotland, I now know. McAvoy X-Men, McGregor Star Wars, that's how I remember them. Check out McAvoy's 5th set in Edinburgh. If you've not seen it already, it's so funny. Same writer as Trainspotting. Whoa, I haven't seen it. I love Trainspotting. Absolutely love Trainspotting. I love Scottish movies. Or are they Irish? No, they're Scottish. They're definitely Scottish. Pretend I didn't say that. Yes, thank you, the Generalissimo. Tron Legacy is underrated. I've heard people say that movie sucks. And to me, no, it doesn't. That movie's awesome. Tron Upper. Oh, is that the Be Positive? Is this the animated Tron? If so, I have not seen it, but I'll check it out. Filth. Okay, you know what? I have seen the poster for this movie. You know what? My brother-in-law, Juan, I think recommended this movie to me. I think. Or maybe it was one similar. I'll have to check it out. I will check it out. Is that the one? It doesn't matter. I'll check it out. Hip Hop Legend. I also, yes, dude, you know what my favorite thing about Tron Legacy was when I was young? I went and saw that movie at the theaters, and whenever, I don't remember when that movie came out, but I was probably 10, 11, right? 12, I don't know. I'm 32 now. And the main character that Garrett Hedlund plays, the son of Jeff Bridges from the OG one, he's got this bunker apartment that's on the water that's like an industrial garage that just opens up to the chillest fucking living space. And I remember when I was a kid and I saw it, I was like, that's where I'm gonna fucking live. When I get older, I'm gonna buy a boat dock at a marina and just turn it into a fucking bachelor study and just live. And I never got to do that. But it's, you know, who knows? Maybe my wife and I will move out to wherever that was and get a little place on a marina, you know? Yeah, Jeff Bridges hated the de-aging in Tron Legacy. He said he looked like Bill Maher. he kind of did. I mean, like he didn't look like Jeff Bridges young. He looked like Jeff Bridges wearing a Megan. He looked like somebody wearing like one like the mask that Megan has. That's what it kind of looked like. Is this true, Kiki? Pee Wee Herman appeared in the Tron TV show, a highlight of his career. Is that true? Are you saying Paul Rubens did, or Pee Wee Herman, like the character Pee Wee Herman? If so, that's crazy, man. That's weird. All right, and the last little bit from Cinemacon that I wanted to talk about, and you know, I'm sure you guys have been watching this stuff all week. We also have coverage of this on the website, so you can visit us at joeblow.com. Chris and Lance were at Cinemacon last week. This week. They can they have an article outlining everything you guys missed. But the last little bit from Cinemacon that I wanted to talk about was the first announcement from Sony, which was that the new Tom Holland Spider-Man joint is being called Spider-Man Brand New Day. There is a Spider-Man Brand New Day comic book series. I have not read it. It's more recent, and I don't think obviously the movie will be fully based on that. Obviously it'll be the MCU version of that storyline or whatever. So I'm excited to see kind of what goes on. I kind of like the spectacular Spider-Man looking font. The name is fine, whatever. I think I'm at a point where like the title of the movie doesn't even fucking matter, because like nowadays, you know, when you remake a movie, you just call it the name of the old movie, like Naked Gun. Or Scream, you know, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or you know, any of the million other ones. So the subtitle of the movie is less important, but I think that what I like is that the font kind of tells me this is a new thing. It's out of the Homecoming trilogy, it's out of the Home trilogy. We're getting into some new, okay? All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left, so we are going to do a giveaway for everybody to partake in. But before we do, I just have a small announcement I wanted to make. Let's get a round of applause for the announcement segment. Okay, I'm glad you guys are clapping now because I got some bad news. For you, because for me, I got good news. You guys, there is not going to be any show next Friday, so... next Friday, the 10th, the 11th, next Friday, the 11th, there will be no Friday Night Flicks episode. We're not going live that day. Me and some of the guys are going to be in Las Vegas, taking a little vacation, hanging out with each other. So we're doing a little Joe Blow family retreat. We're going to Las Vegas, and Arrow and Burge were nice enough to give me that Friday off so I could hang out with them instead of having to sit in my hotel room. So I know. Some of you guys, I know. You know what you could do? Here's what we do. Next Friday, for Alistair, Cowboy, anybody else who's going to be lonely next Friday, if you don't have anything going on, binge watch all of our old episodes and see how much my weight has fluctuated up and down from when the show started to now. You know, I get fat and then I get skinny and then I get fat and then I get skinny. So that'll be a fun activity for you to do on a Friday. And then you can come back, body shame me the following week. So let's do that. But yeah, you know, of course, also stick around, you guys, because, you know, more than likely we'll be sharing some photos and, you know, hopefully making at least a little bit of content together. I do love when the Joe Blow fam gets to do some crossover stuff. You know, sometimes I'll have Lance and Tyler pop into one of my videos. And, you know, so anyway, next week, Kier, Tyler, Lance, Arrow, Burge, Mike Conway, Taylor, James Johnson, the 7 of us, we're going to be hanging out next week. And so that's where I'll be. So you guys won't see me that day. But I'll be back the Friday after. And I tell you what, maybe that next Friday, I'll make it up to you guys and I'll do a long episode. Maybe highlighting my travels. Oh, yeah. Oh, Cowboy, this is good. I literally just did this. I just went through. YouTube has all the episodes. I just went through and rewatched all of the old Goosebumps. And I still love it more than Are You Afraid of the Dark? The original Goosebumps, amazing. Be Positive wants to know The Hangover 2009. Yeah, not for us, man. Not for us. I mean, we're not going for any nefarious reason besides to soak up some rays, sit by the pool, go to Meow Wolf. I'm excited for that. Maybe some hockey. So anyway, it doesn't matter. The whole point is, let's do a giveaway. Don't forget, don't tune in next week, you guys. I don't want you to show up and then wonder where I'm at and then unsubscribe because you're mad. I'm giving you advance notice, okay? Oh, Solomon. Oh my God. Hello. Thank you for being here. This is a legitimate friend of mine. How's it going? It's so cool to see you. How did you just stumble on this random video and I happen to be here? If so, I'm taking over the internet, bro. Yeah, man. I still got some cards, some slow hands. I might have a deck of your cards back there, man. Who knows? Well, thank you for being here. I'm sorry the show's over now. We're about to do a giveaway and then end it. But thank you. I hope you'll come back, not next week, but the week after. All right, guys. So yeah, no show next week. I'm going to Vegas with the boys from work, and then let's do a giveaway. Shall we do? Let's clap for the giveaway. Yes, I know. Yes. Solomon, no, I don't think Spider-Man will be in Doomsday. Maybe hit me up. We'll talk about it. Yeah. All right, guys, let's do a giveaway. Obviously, let's do one to honor my main man, Mr. Val Kilmer. Here's what we're doing. We're giving away this displate sign, right? This is one of those metal posters. It's about this big. It's about, the size of my ego. And obviously, it's got the Doc Brown beard. It says, "I'm your Huckleberry," okay? Now, I want one of these to put back here, but I want one that says, if I thought you weren't my friend, I don't know that I could bear it. And that's my message to you guys, This is a really cool sign. I do kind of want one of these. I want to get one and secretly hang it up in my wife's office, and then she'll think of me every time. And all you guys have to do, if you want to be the winner, the recipient of this incredible metal poster, all you have to do is answer this question. Which iconic 80s filmmaker was originally offered to direct Batman Forever before Joel Schumacher was hired? So who was the original, who was offered to direct? Who was straight up given the offer, do you want to direct Batman Forever, before they hired Joel Schumacher with Burton's blessing? First person to answer this question correctly will be the winner of the Doc Holliday. Oh, yeah, sorry. Did I say Doc Brown? I meant Doc Holliday. Excuse me. Not Tim Burton. Tim Burton was not offered it, unfortunately. He was fired from it. Nope, it wasn't George Lucas. Not George Lucas, not Tim Burton. Not David Lynch, Alistair, although that's an interesting guess. No, Tim Burton. No, not Timmy. This is one that I think is easy to track down. Not Oliver Stone, although that would be a cool idea. We know he already directed the shit out of Kilmer in the Doors movie. Oh, Sam, you're close. Sam, you're close. It is not Joe Dante, but that is close. It's not John Hughes. Kiki, you animal. Obviously not. Not Richard Donner, although that's also a good guess. It is not Richard Donner. Not John Landis. Ooh, I thought this one would be a quick one, but nope. It's not John Landis. It's not Joe Dante. It's not Richard Donner. But you guys are on the right track. There it is. Darnell. Okay, Darnell, remind me when the last time you won one of our giveaways was. It is John McTiernan. So, Darnell, I think because you've won one of our giveaways, I might have to give it to the person who got it after you. But let me know when the last time you won one was, please, and then we'll settle this. Chris Columbus, that would have been good. That would have been good. I think a Chris Columbus Batman movie probably would have had more fun with the concept of Robin. You know, I think Robin would have been kind of a Kevin McAllister vibe. It was about okay, Darnell, I hate to do it, brother, but since you won one of our previous ones, I got to give this one to Dungeon Crawler Jesse, who also got John McTiernan. I'm sorry, Darnell. I just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to win something. So hopefully you understand, man. Dungeon Crawler Jesse, you are the winner of tonight's giveaway. Yes, sir. You are the recipient, hopefully proud recipient of this. I'll be your Huckleberry steel sign that you can hang up on your wall, and it's precious and awesome. Okay. So Dungeon Crawler Jesse, I'm going to go ahead and put the best email address for you in the comments. So Jesse, follow the comments down, and I put the email address for you to get in touch with. Email John, producer of the show, and also a friend. Email John. It's arrow@joeblow.com, and he will get your details from you. Make sure you send him the best shipping address and your full name. Those are just the two things we need to be able to send this to you, okay? Send that information over, and we will have somebody on staff get that sent out to you ASAP, my friend. And thank you all so much for joining my live stream, commenting 420 times. Let's get another round of applause just for that, for real. Over 400 comments. You guys are the fucking best. I love you for that. Thank you, for real. That means so much. The fact that we got to hang out for an hour and get a conversation spanning more than 400 comments is incredible. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here. I promise you we will be back with more stuff. It just won't be next Friday. It'll be the Friday after, so we can chill out for a little while, okay? To all of my returning members, again, you guys are the GOATs. Thank you for being here. For all my new members, thank you for that too. Hopefully you'll consider coming back and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys check out what we got coming up. This week, we've got, let's see, on Sunday, we have a compilation, a Naked Gun compilation going up. So that'll be perfect for you guys if you want to get caught up. And then on Monday, what do we got for you guys? I know next Friday, we have a video that I spent all week on because I was so excited for it. But Monday, we're doing The Last Boy Scout, Bruce Willis. And then Wednesday, we have Taylor coming in with What the Fuck Happened to Stephen Collins, which I think is going to be a good one. He's the dad from Seventh Heaven, and he's a total fucking creep. And then on Friday, I've got a surprise for you guys. We're talking about The Phantom, finally. We're diving even deeper into our pulp comic book movie collection, and I got to do The Phantom, one of my favorite films. So anyway, guys, you guys are the best. Please check out the channel, subscribe if you haven't, share these videos with your friends. And Brad. And other than that, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm sorry that I'm going on a little vacation on you, but we'll be back to regular scheduled programming. With that being said, I just have to share one more comment from Brad. Brad, thank you for being here. He says, I'm going to read it in the Doc Holiday accent. You know, Kier, if we don't see a stream next Friday, I just don't think I could bear it. That was probably terrible, but I do it because I love you guys. All right, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Go watch a movie. Go watch a Val Kilmer movie. Rest in peace to Val Kilmer, 1959 to 2025. He's one of the actors that changed my life, and I love him. I love you guys, and yeah, peace out. Have a good one.